Today we're going to look at the chart of accounts in Xero. So chart of accounts sounds really techy, but the best way to think of it is a list of all the pots that you keep your money in. So that lists your income, your expenditure, so your assets, so that's money and items that belong or are owed to you, and your liabilities, so money that's owed out of the business. And Xero is brilliant. It has a great generic chart of accounts, but actually if you make that more specific for your business and your industry, you can make Xero and your reports work that bit harder for you. It also means when you're doing your bookkeeping, it reduces the amount of confusion over accounts. Everybody sat there sometimes and looked at an item and gone, I don't know where to put that. And it just helps then have that consistency to mean that your reporting works harder for you and is more specific for you. So how do we do that? What do we do? What do we look at? And how do we get into it? So here we are, we're in Xero, we're in the demo company, so everybody can have access to this, so you can play with it. So if you're never sure on how to do something, you can do it in there first without worrying about breaking your own records. So we go into accounting and we go chart of accounts. So at the bottom here in the advanced. And Xero's changing the look soon, but actually the accounting will still see that you'll have the chart of accounts there. Now here is the list of accounts that are already set up in Xero. It's quite a lengthy list, but actually it's quite a comprehensive one and does cover most things. Now you might find, for example, that travel, national, international. Some people will have businesses where they travel for both and they want to keep an idea of where that is, or that they don't have much travel. So actually having two items would confuse you. So it may be easier that we archive one of these accounts to make sure that you just stick with posting it to one. So to archive something in the chart of accounts, we always check it through. You can do a little tick next to that, scroll back up to the list, and then we always archive it. And if we archive it, it means that if anything's ever accidentally posted there historically or what have you, we can go back and find that. Once you delete that, then that's gone forever. So we can remove that. What about if we want to add an account? So again, if you're looking at Xero, what you'll see with the coding is that they have some sort of sense and rhythm to what they're doing. So the 200s will relate to income around the business. The 300s will relate to the direct costs, so those costs of sales of producing your goods or selling whatever it is that you make. And then the 400s are overheads. So you can see that there's a real pattern with everything. 600s debtors, 700s assets, 800s liabilities, and 900s are the bits that sit at the bottom of the balance sheet. So we're going to look at adding an account. So actually I've got a business that has an online store and a physical store, and I want to report the two and show them separately in my profit and loss account and be able to discuss those and keep it clear, and also have it on the dashboard. So when I log into Xero, I can see it straight away. So you can see here that we have sales, and actually I'm going to check that there's nothing else there. So let's have a little check of what's going on. So we're going to check sales and see what comes up. So there we go. We just have that one sales account. So I want to add a new one for my new online services. So I'm going to add account. Now I'm going to use the next row of numbers. It will tell you. So if you try to use the same number again, if I try and use 200, it will tell me that I already have an account with that one. So we need to use a unique code. So because I want it to be sales, we're going to have 201. Now the account type, this bit here lists again, as I said, the assets, the liabilities, the expenses, so where it might sit. So the difference between revenue and sales is about being consistent. So revenue covers all sources of income into your business, whereas sales are more specific around your services or your provisions, goods that you sell. So actually I want this to sit on the top of the sales part of my profit and loss rather than be part of my whole revenue. So I'm going to pop that to sales. I've chosen 201. And this is for my online store. So sales, online store. There we go. Now you can put a description if you want. So online only sales, and that will just be for you to see if you ever click in the chart of accounts what's going on. Now I'm a VAT registered business and I know all my income from my sales from my online store are going to have VAT on it. So actually I can set the default tax rate. And because it's a new area of my business, I want to show on the dashboard as I log into Xero exactly what's going on in there, so I can just keep a close eye on that. So we can save that, and that's now in there, and you can see what we've done. But actually, I've got the physical store and I want to make sure I've got the two. So I've got an option of adding yet another code, or I can edit the one I've already got to keep that list concise. So we're going to use code 200. We're going to go into it and we can edit it, as you can see. Now, again, I want that to sit as sales rather than revenue. So we can switch that from revenue to sales. And we won't worry because this is a brand new set for us, so we don't need to worry about it. If you're moving things around when you've already been using Xero, then you just need to take a little bit of extra care. So we're going to use 200. And we're going to use, I'm just going to put physical store, but again, you can call it whatever you like. I'm having spelling issues this morning. There we go. Oh, not enough coffee. Again, that's got VAT on, and I want it to show my dashboard. So income from my shop. There we go. And we can save that. So now you can see that there. Now that's got money in it because it's a demo account. So we've got income in there. So if we go into our accounting and we want to look at our profit and loss account, you should see, there we go, that says sales physical store. So at this point, there's nothing come in from my online retail. So that's not in there, but it will sit in that turnover level and we can watch that grow. And again, when we log into the business, so as we marked, we wanted to see it on the dashboard. You can see the account watch list here. And again, you can go back into your chart of accounts. So actually, I don't want to see anymore how much I spend on advertising and marketing. I know how much my budget is, and I know that we're sticking to that, and we've come to a great agreement. So we go back into chart of accounts, and we do advertising. And we're going to go back into there, and we're going to take that off our watch list. Now, we've got an ability there to post to expense claims as well. So the bonus of having a clean chart of accounts means that it's slick for posting things that sometimes you look at that doesn't cause any kind of issue with being confused or somebody else posting something to something that might mean the same. So like looking at the travel, which travel do I use? For reporting, it makes it nice and clear and it makes things smoother for you. And it just reduces the chance of overwhelm. So at the end of, when you're setting up Xero, I think it's really important to take a few moments to customize your chart of accounts, and then it will make the numbers and the reports work for you and your business.